Hi everyone. First of all, thank you to the organizers of Data for Policy Conference 2020 for having us in this session. My name is Maail. I'm currently the research manager of Open Data Lab Jakarta, which is an open data innovation lab established by the Web Foundation in 2015 with the core missions of working with a wide range of partners to build a solid research and advocacy around open data innovation in Indonesia and also in the region. I'm going to present our paper, which is the submission number 66, titled Improving Collaborations Among Civil Society Organizations, Assessing the Risk of Cross-Border Open Data Sharing in the Lower-Mekong region. This paper is co-authored with my colleague Dhanaraj Thakur from the Center for Democracy and Technology based in Washington, USA. The work is also supported by the East-West Management Institute, and I would like to thank all the partners and experts who have participated in the study. Just to begin, we all know that open data is now become a key enablers to improve government accountability, empowering the communities, also drives economic growth. It also leads to more accurate and better decision-making process. With the advancement of technology and also the connectivity, the collaborations among countries, the need for open data to facilitate learning and knowledge sharing have become critical, not only for the government, but also for the civil society organizations. More and more civil society organizations have become the data publishers. So the civil society have also collected data, managing the data, and also publishing the data to the public. So there are risks, basically, related to these activities, especially if they are sharing the data with the CSO partners in different countries. So the purpose of this research is to examine the risk and opportunities for open data sharing among CSO partners in different countries, particularly in the Lower-Mekong region. So this includes countries such as Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and also Vietnam. The second objective is to develop a framework that can assist CSO in considering the trade-offs between the pros and the cons of sharing their data to the public. In terms of methodology, we use the qualitative method using a case study of open data developed on Mekong's platform. And the research itself was divided into 4 phases. We started with the desk research to develop an initial framework, and then followed by 2 phases of semi-structured interviews. The first one was focusing on understanding risk factors and benefits for cross-border open data sharing in the Lower-Mekong region. And the second semi-structured interview was focusing on the utility and efficacy of the toolkits to look for the area of the improvement of the toolkit. Throughout the research, a total of 27 experts with the knowledge of open data in the Lower-Mekong region were participated in our study. So for the framework itself, The framework consists of four main components. The first one is in to assist understanding of knowledge assets. Second one is to the purpose of the second one. The second module is to evaluate the benefits of sharing the data. Third one is to assist the risk identification and quantification. And the fourth components of the framework is to assist risk mitigation strategy. So here we started with the knowledge, understanding of the knowledge asset, which is this is very important. Knowledge assets is data points given in the data sets that are expected to have value, and understanding of the knowledge assets are critical for the organizations to be able to evaluate the benefits and also to identify risk associated with sharing those knowledge assets. And lastly, in dealing with risk, we have suggested three approaches, which include preventive measures, detective measures, and also corrective measures. So here I'm going to share some insights we gathered from the expert interviews regarding the key challenges and opportunities with regards to open data sharing itself, but also in conducting risk assessment for open data sharing across country in the Lower-Mekong region. The first key insights we gather from the data we have is on the understanding of the knowledge asset. So here the challenge is for the data publishers to be able to envision the three key elements of the knowledge assets, which are value, awareness, and immutability. So in terms of value, the assessor needs to know whether the knowledge of data points enables users to respond to opportunities or threats in their work. In terms of awareness elements, the question to us is to what extent do the other organizations possess the similar knowledge asset? And for immutability, the assessor needs to know whether it is costly or difficult to obtain or imitate this knowledge asset by other organizations. To assist the publishers in assessing the knowledge asset, we think that it is important for the CSO to select the right assessor with the knowledge of the data sets, and they might also need to conduct the second round of your review using other team members before making the final approval. We also found that although the UDM platform is unique, where the countries are sharing common resources and geographical boundaries, but the data is never net neutral. It is influenced by the social, economic, and political factors within the context in which it operates. So the assessor needs to have a wide range of contextual knowledge to envision risk and benefits that may occur when particular data share assets is being shared and also used. To help the assessors with that, the toolkit provides also examples of possible risks and benefits to guide the assessor in performing the assessment. Uh, in terms of the risk factors, we also see that the legal aspects is the most common one. There is a need to have a common framework for open data sharing among countries within the region, because there are differences in regulation concerning copyrights, for example, licensing, also some laws related to data sharing like open data law or freedom of information law. In terms of political aspect, um, there are also risk of state monitoring, also political persecution. So individuals might be subjected to political persecutions by sharing information on sensitive domestic issues. We saw this happen in some countries. Um, Technical issues, technical risk factors, things like cybersecurity, uh, which include hacking or virus or malware, also technical aspect related to low data quality that may create risk when data is being shared. Uh, so this includes different formats, duplications of the data that reduces validity of the data, and also different data sources issue. In terms of social aspect, we also see that limited understanding of the local context might expose CSO partners to the risk. There are common practices in countries that prohibit sharing of data regarding certain individuals. Language barrier are also a risk factor that prevent the CSO partner in understanding local laws and regulations in each country. And for the mitigation strategy, we have gathered some strategies from our CSO partners, suggested by our CSO partners, and we divided this into three measures. One is preventive measures, basically to reduce the frequency of the risk. You can develop cross-boarding, which include data sharing, which includes in the preventive measures. There's also a detection measure to basically, this is the measure that we can do once if the preventive measure does not work. And then finally, there's also correction measure that basically involve the use of experts to provide advice to the CSO in terms of legal aspect, but also in terms of technical aspects. So finally, we think that cross-border open data sharing framework needs to be better developed. And it is also critical that risk management around open data should not be developed in ad hoc basis, but that it is important that the method should be remain flexible according to the context of each country. Um, the framework and the toolkit that was being developed in this study is still in the preliminary stage and requires more field testing. So we're hoping that we could do more research in different contexts and different regions in order to improve this framework further based on the inputs of the actual users. And in the end, improving risk management in terms of open data sharing between countries requires concerted efforts from all stakeholders, from data publishers and also the users. And these papers all serve as a call for proposal to come up with new approaches, methods, tools to improve open data sharing, risk assessment, and development of best practices around the world. Thank you very much.